This is the third video of the video series on the Criss-cross method for naming chemical compounds. So I'm just going to do examples in this video, some more examples. I'll start off with, let's say, this example here. Suppose I've got sodium and I've got carbonate. Okay, this is sodium, that's carbonate polyatomic ion. Okay, carbonate. How do we make this into an ionic compound? Ionic because it's got a metal, and it's got non-metals here, carbon and oxygen. Criss-cross method. So Na plus CO3 2 minus. So write it. First step is to write down the actual compound here, putting parentheses around the carbonate ion. We don't bring down the plus, there's nothing in front of the plus. We bring down the 2, however, down to the sodium. So we get sodium carbonate. Okay, or visually looking at this, you would need 2 sodium ions to balance the 2 up here, the 2 minus in the carbonate polyatomic ion. That's example 1. Let's do another example. Let's do potassium hydroxide. Okay, potassium is a metal. Hydroxide, it's an ion, it's a non-metal. It's a polyatomic ion. How do we get the ionic compound in this case? Criss-cross, so potassium. So write down the name of the compound. So write down the ions first, the name of the compound, we then write it down, put them together. Potassium and hydroxide. Now there's nothing in front of the plus, nothing in front of the minus, so therefore they just balance, they cancel out. And so you get this. This is potassium hydroxide. Let's do another example. Let's do calcium and sulfate ion. Okay, calcium is a metal. Sulfate ion, it's a polyatomic ion, it's a non-metal. How do we do this? Criss-cross. So calcium, write down the name of the ions first. And then we put them together, putting parentheses around the sulfate ion. And we just keep it as it is because the plus 2 and the minus 2 cancel out. And so we get calcium sulfate. Let's keep going with this. Let's do iron. Okay, so iron is a transition metal, but it's also got, so transition metals have a valency of plus 2, but in this case, it could be also plus 3 plus for iron. And let's suppose we've got the sulfate ion, let's say carbonate ion. Okay, so write down the ions first. So I've already written it down here. Put them together. Okay, so the 2 comes down and the 3 comes down. So we get iron carbonate. Let's now do some examples involving 2 polyatomic ions. So let's have, this is the ammonium polyatomic ion, and let's have, let's say, nitrate, the nitrate polyatomic ion. Let's write them down like this. And so you pretty much do nothing in this case. If you just look at it visually, plus or minus, you don't bring anything down. So this is called ammonium nitride. Let's do another one. Let's do, let's say, ammonium and the phosphate polyatomic ion. So let's write them down, stick them together, put parentheses around the phosphate ion, polyatomic ion, sorry. That's phosphate. Now, nothing in front of the plus, don't bring it down. The minus here, there's a 3, bring it down there. Put parentheses around here, of course. And 3. So this is called ammonium phosphide. And so that's how you use the Criss-cross method.